Welcome to this IEECP lunch seminar. Today, the project in focus will be the Horizon 2020 funded ENSMOV, and Ivana Rogulj will be our presenter, giving us the latest updates about the project. Ivana, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Marine, and thank you all for listening to our presentation. So I'm going to tell you more about the project ENSMOV, which is the short acronym for Enhancing the Implementation and Monitoring and Verification Practices of Energy Savings Policies under Article 7 of the Energy Efficiency Directive. And since the project has started in June 2019, there is a lot of things that have been done, and we wanted to update you on the progress until now. So today we are going to tell you a bit more about the project in general, what are our objectives, what we want to achieve, current progress, what has been done until this time, the achievements, what things of the progress we consider as very useful for the policies and for the future work in Article 7 of the Energy Efficiency Directive, our future work, so our plans until the end of the project, what we want to work and what we want to achieve. And of course, beyond the project, what we expect to be the useful results that are going beyond our project finalization. So there are three objectives of ENSMOV. So one of them is to facilitate, expand sharing of knowledge among the member states. And of course, we are also including the countries that are associated, that are in progress of becoming EU members. And the idea of this part is not only to generate the knowledge, not only to create documents regarding the Article 7 topics, but also to allow space where countries could talk and discuss their problems and the solutions to those problems, meaning that they can come to a joint solution and the joint conclusions that then we can further on present as our inputs to the policy recommendation at the end of the project. We are also developing a suite of tailored resources and tools for the implementation of Article 7, meaning a lot of guidelines, documents, fact sheets, and what I'm going to present later on, tools for interactions between the experts and the national authorities which are in need of advice on a certain topic. Another topic is also to assist the national authorities with monitoring, reporting and verification, whether from the technical perspective or the policy perspective, and also to create let's say, baseline of data and a way of work that is useful for the next period of implementation of the EED. The general, let's kind of say that these activities are happening in two streams. One of them is ensuring that policies related to Article 7 achieve their targets in the current period. And the other one is to sustain an active platform and community that would live beyond the project as space for knowledge exchange. So how is this done? It's divided in 4 different segments. Which are linked through 2 axes. One of them I've mentioned already. This is monitoring, reporting and verification schemes. And the other is design of policy ideas and implementation of the policies. So helping with the implementation of currently existing policies. What we did at the beginning of the project is to find out what are the needs and the gaps. So the systematic analysis of policy implementation for the period that was, let's say, an issue at the beginning of the project. So at the beginning of the project, member states had their needs and their gaps from the perspective of policy implementation. This, of course, is changing as they are learning, as the things are becoming more and more complex in a certain areas. And that's why we did another needs assessment before the second cycle of our work. And we are going, of course, to do the third one before the third cycle. Other than that, so the other work segment is the stakeholder engagement. So this is what I've mentioned: the knowledge exchange, gathering people and trying to discuss the issues that are bothering them regarding the policies and the MRV schemes altogether. So there is also a topic of the generating the knowledge and generating the policies for the future work, meaning bringing this knowledge not only among the member states and among the main stakeholders, but also using this as inputs for the communication with the European Commission to try to influence the future policies in that way. And as mentioned, so beyond the project, the idea is to also use these lessons learned and to keep an open platform for cooperation and for knowledge exchange that would live beyond the project. So what we've done until now, as mentioned in a segment 1, we did needs assessment for cycles 1 and 2. And you can see from the slide which are the things that bothered our stakeholders the most, and they chose them for the interactions and for the things they need to know more about. This is the sustainability of the schemes that have developed, either energy efficiency obligation scheme or the alternative measures, which are two of the options for the Article 7 of the Energy Efficiency Directive. Their idea is also to, their need was also to see what are the side effects of the schemes and alternative measures that have been developed and implemented, the additionality of the energy efficiency savings, the materiality of it, and the policies, the costs of the policies, and this also from the board perspective, the alternative measures and the energy efficiency obligation schemes. And now, as things are like getting into more details, for the second cycle, our topics are a bit more, let's see, they're linked to technical aspects, they're linked to implementation aspects, more they're more concrete. So now there is a need to discuss more on the step-by-step approach for setting up the MRV scheme, how to ensure that the side effects and alternative measures are assessed, so additionality and materiality in a more detailed manner. And in this way, for additionality and materiality especially, our goal is to see what are the problems that countries have been facing in the meantime in their work of proving the additionality and materiality, and how these problems could be, through interaction with other countries, overcome. Then we are working a bit on the IT tools. So some countries have developed very proficient IT tools for monitoring and verification, and some are in the process of developing. So the knowledge exchange will be very useful. Also, Article 7 and climate targets, as the climate legislative framework is changing, it is influencing Article 7 targets, and there is a lot of interest by the countries on how to react to that, what is going to be changed in regards to the savings calculation and so on. There are also some countries that are having a functional energy efficiency fund that is financing Article 7 measures implementation, and this is of interest of the other member states who also want to set it up. Then we are going to learn and exchange a bit more about the banking and borrowing, so include also the financial institution, and when speaking on finances, also energy service companies, and tell a bit more about the energy performance contracts and how they can help the objectives of the Article 7. For the purpose of what has been assessed as the needs and gaps, we've developed a lot of materials and created a lot of knowledge based on either existing science, but also based on what has been discussed with the stakeholders. So combining this research, desktop research, but also a lot of knowledge exchange into something that are materials that could be used later on for the purpose of helping member states and their authorities in achieving Article 7 goals. With that, we were focused on this, let's say, main issues that have been mentioned earlier on. So the fact sheets on how every of the countries is doing, did they choose alternative measures or energy efficiency obligation scheme, how is their MRV set up, is it functional, and so on. But we are also, and the costs and all the, let's say, basic and major issues, but we've also we've followed up on what are the main issues at the moment, and we tried to create a knowledge which will help with these issues that just came up during our work. For example, it's a specific topic of how fuel suppliers are dealing with energy efficiency obligation scheme, since they have a very specific obstacles and very specific challenges. Then there is a topic of effects of COVID-19, which of course we could not predict at the time when the needs assessment has been done, but now is very, very much relevant knowledge on how is COVID-19 influencing energy efficiency policy implementation, but also energy efficiency investments in the European Union, and how what measures are being taken and what are the expected changes in the energy consumption and the way it's consumed, and what are the rebounds effects that we are expecting, and how this is going to altogether influence the obligation scheme. So this is also something that we are dealing with. And also, for example, the state aid in the financing of energy efficiency, which is also another very much relevant topic that was not originally planned, but came up as an issue with the countries. You can see here a bit more about what we've implemented. So we tried to, at the beginning, divide the workshops on a local, national, regional, and EU level. So this national level would be more of a direct help to member states in their specific issues. Of course, regional workshops with their regional specific problems, and then EU level workshop. Of course, this has been changed a bit due to the situation of a lot of things switching to online. And that's why we used a lot of these regional workshops to try to also cover subjects and topics that would help many more countries in general, let's say it like that. And we also are having webinars, which is more of an, let's say, ex cathedra work, which is trying to provide all this gain knowledge to a general public, to a broader public. We've implemented a bit more than we planned due to this fact that it was a bit easier to organize, and due to the fact that we found out during our work that there are some gaps that need to be filled with some knowledge gain. What we are going to do later on, I've mentioned it through the needs assessment. So we are so from July, so from now until end of this year, we'll be working on these topics already mentioned. And for the ID tools, for the additionality and materiality, and the Article 7 and climate targets, we already have time planned. And if you're interested into joining, please, at the end of the presentation, you will see our contacts, and you can join us in the workshops and use the knowledge that you gained there. Regarding the long-term results, which is what I said, we wanted the project to live beyond its implementation. We have developed a knowledge transfer platform where you can learn more about the Article 7 of the EED, and it has a lot of materials that have been developed either through our project, or we are also trying to build the knowledge on what's already existing. So to build the knowledge on the projects that are dealing with energy efficiency in general and the directive, and then specifically with Article 7. So a lot of learning materials, a lot of links to other projects which would help you a lot in your work. Then you can see later on that we also have the very specific country data and the country contact, an expert who could help you with more knowledge on the specific country and its data. You also can contact the official national contact person who can give you the national data from the perspective of the national authority. So you don't have to you cannot only get the data which are same for all the countries, or which are gathering all the countries, but you can specifically contact the person who can help you more about the issues that you are as a stakeholder dealing with on a national level. Then we are having a lot of let's say we are having a lot of communication options because we consider that no matter how much knowledge is existing in the consortium, there is a lot of that needs to be addressed directly among the countries. So there are a lot of similar problems that never come to one place. So we try to develop the forum, an online forum where people could interact on the topic of Article 7. But then again, we also developed a LinkedIn group, which you can find under the ENSMOV name. And this group is more of a, let's say, more interactive, maybe at this point of time, more used than the Article 7 ED forum. So please feel free to join the group. And we are also interviewing a lot of experts. So you can see all of this in our YouTube channel and on the website, of course, trying to bring to you not only the expertise, but also the experiences from a specific country on the topic. And at the end of the project, as a result, beyond this knowledge, or all the knowledge that we are trying to produce and to let's say exchange among the countries, we are also working on the policies. So development of the policy briefs. From what we've done, we want to develop the briefs that will be publicly available, synthesize the policy outcomes where the national context will be visible, replicate the capacity building activities, and so share this with the countries that have not been involved in the previous work. And also at the end, I think as the main target of our project is the recommendations on the implementation in the new period. So in this 2021-2030 period. These are the basics of our progress. If you have any questions, please ask, and thank you very much for the attention. If you want more information, you can follow us on Twitter or on website, or as I mentioned, the discussion group. And also you can visit our Article 7 ED platform, which I think is the very much relevant source of information on the topic, and it's updated regularly. So the changes that are happening, for example, at the moment with the new energy efficiency directive, will be very soon available in a simple form on the Article 7 ED platform.